Hey, this is Antonio. Welcome back to my channel. Who's ready for some fighting words? In this video, I want to talk about Mikaela. Really quick, if you like the content, if you love the channel, if you love the videos, please take this opportunity right now. Subscribe to the channel. Only takes one click. Also, it would be a great service if you also take this moment and hit that thumbs up button. It really does help the channel, and I truly appreciate it. Now let's get back to this video. So basically, Mikaela is saying, listen, if I can't get the Baumgardner fight, the rematch, I want to get my hands on Katie Taylor. And I'm like, yes, love this fight. This is the reason why women's boxing is on the rise. This is the reason why women's fighting in general is on the rise, because they're going after the hard fights. They're calling these hard fights. And with the talent pool not being half as deep as the men's, the likelihood of us getting these fights is very, very high. And this is a great fight. I don't necessarily feel like Mikaela is reaching for the stars in this fight. But when you look at the best of the best in women's boxing, you have Clarissa Shields, and followed closely behind that, you have Katie Taylor. You have Amanda Serrano. You have Cecilia Brækhus up there. You know, but Katie Taylor, especially at this moment, is number 2. So to say you want the number 2 is saying something. That's a statement, just saying that you want that person. Now, do I believe that she can beat Katie Taylor? I think if the Mikaela that fought Alycia Baumgardner shows up, I do not think she will beat Katie Taylor. That Mikaela was on cruise control. One of my issues, well, not one of my, I think the biggest issue that probably everybody had with the Baumgardner / Mayer fight was it just seemed like they were on cruise control. Especially probably say round 7 or 8 on out. They were on cruise control. There was no sense of urgency, and that was basically what was being shouted in both corners. There was no sense of urgency. They were fighting as if there wasn't a belt on the line, multiple belts on the line. There was no sense of urgency. And I can tell you right now, if Mikaela were to go up against Katie Taylor, she needs to fight like there's a sense of urgency. One, because Katie Taylor is going to put a crazy pace on her. 2, because Katie Taylor throws a lot of punches. Her punch output is ridiculous. And that's initiating the sequence of events and then the counter punching. Either way, it's going to be a combination. Katie Taylor is very conscious, like most women in boxing, they're very conscious of the fact that they're on a point system. Men, always not so much. Why? Because, you know, especially as we get bigger, the likelihood of needing the point system goes out the window. You know, by the time you get to heavyweight, you know somebody's getting knocked out. It's just, it is what it is. But women, on the other hand, you don't see so many knockouts. So with Mikaela here's my thing. I think she has the skills and attributes to actually beat Katie Taylor. I think she has an amazing jab. I think she knows how to use the ring. One of my a critique that I always give Mikaela is that she fights like a knockout artist. And I don't understand why she doesn't use her body in the right way. She's tall, she has long arms, and she has a great jab, and she has fast feet, and she does know how to circle the ring when she has to. Why don't you just use that throughout the fight? It'll be a lot more effective, you'll take a lot less damage, and you could really put a gap between you and your opponent. Now, if she were to do that with Katie Taylor, I feel like Katie Taylor would not have the easiest of times. Katie Taylor does like to be planted before she does anything. She's not going to do anything on the fly. She's not going to do anything while moving. She likes to be planted because she wants to get the most out of her punches. She does this twerking thing where she kind of all the way winds around. And you can't do that when you're in the move. So you got to be planted. However, I do think that Katie Taylor could put more than enough pressure to put Mikaela on the ring. But seeing how Mikaela kind of wrestled with Baumgardner. Now, I'm not saying that Baumgardner is stronger than Katie Taylor, but Baumgardner's not weak. And Baumgardner's very, muscled. She's very buff. Now, that being said, if you can do that to her, I don't see why you can't do it to Katie Taylor. At least only, and I'm talking about the clinch only, just to get out of a clinch or to get out of the corner or get out the clinch. That's it. I think her bread and butter, Mikaela Mayer, would be on the move. I think her bread and butter would be that jab. I do think she needs to do something other than a 1-2. I think she needs to mix it up a little bit because Katie Taylor's going to be throwing a ton of things at you. Mostly are going to be hooks. And you need, while you have openings, if she's throwing hooks, you need to be throwing something in there. I think the straight punches are good, but I feel like, something out of the ordinary, especially for Mikaela Mayer, would be an uppercut or a shovel hook. A check hook would be really good because we know Katie Taylor's coming in. We know she's coming in. She's not shy about that. We know she's going to come in. She's going to charge in, and she's going to push you back. We know she's going to throw a lot of punches. That leaves you wide open for a counter. A check hook would be actually great. And not many people can do it, especially with a check hook, how they can just veer off and then skate out. Not many people can do it, but I think that Mikaela Mayer has more than enough skill to where she could do that a few rounds or here and there. Nothing to get too comfortable where Katie Taylor could pick up on that. No, but I think she could do it. Overall, I mean, Katie Taylor is the creme de la creme, but I think it would be more than competitive. But Mikaela Mayer would have to step on the gas, and I mean from the beginning. It can't be I'm warming up, or it can't be we're about to hit the championship rounds and now I'm about to step on the gas. It can't be that. It cannot be that. She needs to fight like she is fighting for belts. She needs to fight like she is fighting for legacy. She needs to fight with a sense of urgency. There's no talk of I'm skating through, not with Katie Taylor, because she's not going to let you skate. As is, at this moment, I would more than likely favor Katie Taylor, however. I do think Mikaela Mayer has the skills to do it, but at this moment, I would favor Katie Taylor. However, you guys know I like to get into the psychology of things. I do think Mikaela Mayer losing her belts put a bad taste in her mouth, especially the way she lost her belts, because she doesn't necessarily feel as if she lost. And I think that would put, fire under her, to say, what, I'm going back to get what's mine, or I'm getting a belt. That's my goal. I'm getting a belt. Now, whose belt it will be, I don't know, but I'm going to get a belt. And some people, you look at Jermell Charlo, he lost to Tony Harrison. And he came back and he's like, I won't need judges this time around. You guys can take the night off. Mikaela Mayer could come in that same way. And the fact that she's coming back and calling out the top girl, the top woman in that weight class says something. It's saying, I don't want no easy fights. It's saying, I want to get straight back up to the top. And it's saying, I want you all to take notice while I do so. That's not the sign of a defeated fighter. It's not. It's a sign of someone who says, you know what? I was wrong. I'm going to make it right. And I'm going to show everybody just how good I really am. And moving forward, there won't be any free fights from me. There won't be any free rounds from me. That's what that says. Now, I also want to talk about the rematch. I wish we were getting a rematch. I've already made a video about it. I wish we were getting a rematch. I think that fight deserved an immediate rematch. I feel like we only scratched the surface of what these two could generate. And by Baumgardner not wanting to do the rematch, I feel like, not that she was settling or anything like that, because I understand she was going to unify. I totally get that. And for all of you who are going to say, well, she's going to unify, I totally get that. And yes, that would make the rematch even bigger. I totally get that. But we are talking boxing. While something's hot, I feel like we need to fully get everything we can get out of it. Squeeze the orange, as I like to say. Just squeeze the orange. As much juice comes out of it, squeeze the orange. And with Mikaela Mayer, with the thoughts of going another direction, we may not get it, or we may not get it while it's hot. Let me just say it like that. I feel like we want this while it's hot. You look at Arturo Gatti and Mickey Ward. They fought back to back because it was hot and we wanted it back to back. And that's how we got the fights. You look at Floyd Mayweather when he fought Maidana the first time. Back to back, we got the second fight. That's how, personally, that's how I think it should be. If you want to get the best bang for buck out of it, money-wise, marketing-wise, and also the general public, us, and our overall interests, well, you capitalize on what's something that's already hot, and then you do it again. That being said, I feel like they both bring the best out of each other. So I'm not going to say in a rematch that Mikaela Mayer would win, nor Baumgardner would win. I will say this. Depending on what night you look at that fight, Baumgardner won. And then some nights I look at the fight and it's like, no, Mikaela Mayer won that fight. You know, it's kind of like Hagler and Sugar Ray Leonard. You look at the fight sometimes and you're like, no, Hagler definitely. Just so we're clear, I truly believe Marvin Hagler won the fight with Sugar Ray Leonard. Please drop your thoughts down below. I want to hear what you have to say on that. But I totally believe that depending on what day you watch the fight, you're going to have a different answer. And I think we still need a definitive winner. That's all I'm saying. We need a definitive winner of Mikaela Mayer and Alycia Baumgardner. And I think the second fight would give us that because there's so much animosity. You know, you look at Wilder and Fury, there was animosity and it just built up. You know, it needed to end the way it ended. So it's like, all right, well, you can't say who won this time because he's on the ground. It's the same way. We need a number two. And quite frankly, I feel like Alycia Baumgardner versus Mikaela Mayer 2 is the biggest thing in women's boxing. Hands down. The only thing that's going to top that is if you get Clarissa Shields and you have Savannah Marshall back up on, you know, in the scene, in the ring again. That's the only thing that I think is going to top that. But I don't know. I feel like with them not getting the full spotlight last time, I feel like they stole the spotlight. So who knows? Even if they, you know, Shields and Marshall were to do it again, I don't know if that could top an angry Mikaela Mayer and an angry Alycia Baumgardner. I don't know. But I'll tell you this, I do want to see it. I want to see it again. I also want to see it while it's fresh and while it's hot. And I do think the second time around, we would have a definitive winner because of the animosity. And I think that would rise up again, but also boil over. But again, even more would be added in the press conferences, in which case it's like, no, you need to knock this chick out because she's got people believing that she won. Or you're not the real champ. I got to prove that I am the real champ. That's gold, people. That's gold. So I definitely think let's have that rematch. But on the flip hand side, I am not mad if I see Mikaela Mayer and Katie Taylor in the ring facing off. Those are my thoughts. Drop your thoughts down below. As always, please like, please share, please subscribe to my channel.